Hello everyone, Helen here. Lovely to have you here with me today, and I hope you're doing okay. And today I'm going to do a little bit of a roundup of all the projects that I'm working on at the moment. All the knitting, actually it's more knitting than anything else. I'm surrounded by them all here, and I'm definitely going to show you my winter journal that I decided not to fit into last week's podcast, and then we're going to finish off with a nice little bit of very gentle piano to accompany me doing a bit of painting. So yeah, so that's today, and I'll start off with my projects. So I think, well, you can probably see here, this is the only crochet project I've got on the go at the moment. And this is the blanket, the dune blanket. That's as far as I've got. I suppose I'm probably twice as far as when I last showed it to you. And I'm really enjoying the colours. It's really nice. Nice to do those sorts of colours when you have all these dark evenings still at the moment that we have here. And I'm really enjoying that. As I say, I'm not making as much progress as I might normally make on a blanket because doing so many other things. So that's my dune blanket, which I'm using the Attic 24 yarn pack for the harbour blanket, which is the current crochet along, which I'm not doing. I decided I wanted to do this shell pattern for this dune blanket, but fancied a new set of colours to do it in. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that. As usual with most of the Attic 24 blankets, it's Stylecraft Special DK that I'm using, and I love using it, and I love the feel of the blankets that you get when it's all finished. Yeah, so that's the blanket. What else? Yeah, well, I'm busy making just some plain socks because I just like lots of you who knit socks. Just rarely without a sock on the go, and that's this one here, using this very pretty sound. So there's one sock finished, and the other sock is on the way anyway. So that's the socks, and let's see, oops, what else have I got? Oh yes, so since I last saw you, I've cast on 3 more new projects, and the first one, which is in this bag, which some of you might remember seeing me showing you. This was my first attempt at borrow stitching, and I made this panel to add to this plain bag that I got. So this seemed a good size for the jumper that I'm knitting, the short sleeve jumper, which I'm not going to take it out of there. I'll show you a photo. And I'm really enjoying that yarn. It feels absolutely lovely to knit with. So I think it's going to make a nice top. Hope I've got the sizing right. Who knows? I did a swatch and it seemed to be okay. It seemed to match what it was supposed to be. But I'm very inexperienced at knitting garments because, as you'll know if you've seen a few of my podcasts, I do tend to, mostly do small projects. So socks and hats and cowls and lots of toys. Plus, I think the only big things really that I do are blankets, which are their usually crochet ones. Yeah, so that was one new project. Then another new project. The other 2 I've hardly got anywhere at all. So first of all, a new tutu bear. So this will be my 4th one. And making this as a gift for somebody, a family friend who will a little later this year be having a new baby. And so because it's going to be for a baby, then for the first time I've decided to not insert the safety eyes, the plastic safety eyes, but to do one of the other options that Cynthia Valet in her pattern gives you, which is to do knitted eyes. And I think they've turned out okay. I seem to have, so you actually knit forward and back into one stitch where the eye has to be placed. In one of the eyes I seem to have caught a bit of the brown yarn in it, but overall I think they're not too bad. The other option is just to embroider the eyes, and but I've gone for the knitted eyes and I can't take them out now, so well, they'll have to do. So that's Tutu there, and I think probably I might, as I go along, when I get to those points in the pattern where I know one or two of you have said, oh, this bit's really hard, I might try and do a video of me doing that, or just talk about how, now that I'm on to the fourth one, I've kind of adapted the way I do things. So not change the pattern exactly, but just ways that I found to make it a bit easier for myself. And then the other new project that I've cast on, which again I haven't got very far with, is in here, which is the, oh, I'm not going to take it out actually, I'm just going to show you a photo, is the February gnome for the Year of Gnomes that I'm joining in with, Year of Gnome Make Along. And again I decided to buy a gnome kit from Lucy Locket Land, and that came with, well, the cost included the pattern, and this time it's, oh, I can't remember the name of the pattern. I'll put it on the screen. And but this is one I haven't knitted before. It's got lots of cables in it on the hat and on the body and on the beard, I think, and it is taking me forever. I'm not very quick with cables. I'm not a very quick knitter altogether, but it might seem quick because I do lots of small projects, but I'm really not very quick. So yes, it's taking me absolutely ages. So I'm working on the hat at the moment, and who knows when that'll be finished. It's quite a tall hat, and there's cables pretty much all the way up. And on I think I'm using 2.75mm needles, so it's quite fiddly, and it's quite a thin cable needle. So anyway, there's no real rush. I've started it on the 1st of February. I'm sure it'll be finished by the end of February, and if it's not, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I think those are all the things I've got on the go, and I have one finished project who's been sitting here, and that is Jane Austen, and she's from the Crochet Iconic Women book, which I got as a gift recently, and I think she's really lovely. She does definitely have a flavour of Jane Austen, and yeah, but I just wish that, as I said to you before, I wish that I was enjoying the yarn a bit more. I'm so tempted to change the yarn that I'm using, but I've bought lots of it in all different colours, so I don't really want to waste it. Maybe I could knit with that, and then buy some new to crochet with, because I think that's part of the problem. I think it's just not very good cotton for crocheting with, is the Drops Muscat, or maybe it's just me not being very good at crocheting with that cotton, I don't know. anyway, I'm very pleased with Jane Austen. So yeah, so I think that is all of my projects for the moment. So last week's podcast, I was hoping to show you my winter journal, and decided while I was busy editing it that I'd got to a particular length of podcast, and I didn't really want it to go way over my kind of target length of time. So I'm going to show you that now. So I have, as you know, if you watched last week, I love bullet journaling, and you might have seen a previous podcast last year where I was starting another journal, a journal of inspirational words, where I was just sticking quotes, and I was just practicing a bit of almost, you could call it junk journaling, I suppose. There's all sorts of journals you can do these days, lots of different names, and there's junk journal, there's art journal, and I think when I was young I would have just called them scrapbooks. I used to keep scrapbooks when I was young, and a journal in a way is actually a record. What I mean, I think the origins of the word is it's just a record of what you do each day. You know, it was the another word for a diary. But journals, as with lots of words, I think the meaning has just kind of evolved a bit. Anyway, so whatever it is, my winter journal is just a record of things that I would like to remember and look back on, and at the same time have a bit of fun with playing with paper and stickers and washi tape and all those fun things. It's just relaxing to do it, and I also then have a nice book here. So yeah, so this is it here, and I'm going to show you that now. So here's my winter journal, and the front cover doesn't look much different to the last time I showed it to you, except I think I've added this and these words. One kind word can warm 3 winter months, which apparently is a Japanese proverb. And I added my name to the front there as well. So on the first page, I wanted it to look nice and wintry, since it's a winter journal. So I printed out some snowy trees and put on this poem, Woods in Winter, by Longfellow. Some little cutouts from Christmas cards as well. That was that. And next we have all of my little paintings I did for the Advent Calendar Watercolour Challenge, I suppose it was, last December, from the Dewinton Paper Co. website. You can see I was very pleased with my first one, at least, the Christmas pudding, and others, yeah, I mean, I didn't think so much of my poinsettia. Yeah, anyway, I just decided to stick them in here, and then I would have a reference for if I wanted to have a go at painting them again. I could just look at these. And I like my mulled wine here, my baubles. I think the Santa's hat is okay. Didn't think my ice skates were very good. I don't like all of them, but whoops. And then the rest of them here and here. Yeah, so they were okay, and I like having them there, and I decorated around with some little drawings of holly leaves and things, and the odd little cutout and thing that I'd got. And you might remember me showing you the advent calendar that I had this year, this 3D house. And then there were little slots with numbers in them, and then each of the cardboard pieces had a number, and you had to assemble it throughout Advent. So that was just, this picture came with it, so I thought I would stick it in as a reminder. Over here, I thought I'd stick some reminders of the mystery gnome knit along that ran through December. So I put some information about it, put a photo here of my finished gnomes, 2 gnomes as it turned out, and the yarns that I used I just stuck in there. Picture of the popcorn that we made. Over here is another poem. So I think all of the poems that I've stuck into here are ones that I've read out in my Vlogmas at the end of each Vlogmas episode. So this one's a lovely one, December by John Clare. Well, it's not the whole thing actually, the whole thing is really long. And some more poems that I really liked. And so I've used various things as backgrounds. This one, obviously, because it was about, this poem was about a cathedral carol service, it seemed appropriate to have some music as backing, and I had a Christmas card with Durham Cathedral on it, so that was very handy. And a couple more poems here that I liked. I really like these Wendy Cope poems actually, but this one I tried to put a backing with using some Christmassy papers, but going diagonally just to see whether I like the effect. I was just really playing about trying that. On this side here just have some quotes, some winter themed quotes, and used bits of old Christmas cards and plus some of the stickers and cutouts that I got in the winter journaling kit that I'd bought from So Remy. Another poem there, and if you saw me opening one of my Christmas boxes, you'll see that I was saving some of the wrappings, and that's what I've used here. I tried to do a bit of arty tearing there. I used more stickers there as a background. And well, because I have a winter birthday, I thought I might as well put that in, because I got 2 extra special cards this year. This one from my daughter, she painted this picture for me, and it says, "Not all those who wander are lost, but I probably am." And this is me, so this is a painting of me, and I'm busy videoing with my phone. But yeah, and so that's typical of me. I haven't got a great sense of direction, and when I go out for walks, I tend to let my legs take me where I'm going, and I don't necessarily think about which way I'm going. And this card is very special. This was from my husband, and he is not at all a crafty person. He never does crafts, but he made this for me. He found out how to make a heart out of paper, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. It's really, really special, that is. And the backing for these pages is just bits of wrapping paper that I had gifts and tag there that some of my gifts were wrapped in. So it's nice not to have to put it all into recycling, but actually use it there. And then a poem that I like. I always read this poem on the shortest day, so I thought I'll put it into here, and then I've always got it to come and look at. And all sorts of Christmassy bits and bobs that I just put beside the words there. And then here, this was one of my favourite new recipes that I tried when I was coming up to Christmas, these Lebkuchen, which I did in one of my Vlogmases, and I thought I liked them so much, they were so popular with everybody else as well, that I would have the recipe there ready for next Christmas. And then finally, this is the last page I've done. This was a beautiful lino cut print that my daughter did. So she made that and then did lots of prints of it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's a thrush, and because it's a thrush, one of my favourite wintry poems is The Darkling Thrush by Thomas Hardy. So I thought I would stick that in on the same page. And then nothing else stuck in apart from on the back page or the back cover should I say, where I stuck a pocket. I made a pocket out of some thickish paper and made a little journal, mini journal with mostly with the story that I read out gradually through Vlogmas about Christmas in the Enchanted Forest. And so I've just stuck the words in and some of the photos that I took. So I think I need to do a bit more actually. Oh, and occasionally I'll just use bits of Christmas card. I've used some Christmassy washi tape. So there are still a few gaps in here. I need to put some more pictures in there. And yeah, there was Christmas Eve. There's the little Mousie is drifting off to sleep poem that I wrote. So I need actually a picture of Mousie in bed to put there. And then I did print out some of the absolutely lovely comments that lovely people wrote on my Vlogmases. I mean, this is just a small amount. I appreciated them so much. I didn't want to forget how lovely everybody was. So there we go. So that is my winter journal so far. So I hope you enjoyed having a little look through my winter journal. It's definitely something that I'll be adding to, you know, next winter, and well, for as long as I have pages in it to fill, and I think it'll be a lovely thing to look through. So I'm just going to finish today with this is just really intended as a bit of relaxation for you, and I found it really relaxing. So you may know that I decided last year, around about this time last year, that I was going to have a go at learning how to use watercolour paints. I'd never ever used them before, and so I am still quite a beginner. But I decided I wanted to share with you me trying something new. And I certainly feel quite vulnerable sharing it because I just don't feel like I'm a proper artist, although that's something I'm working on and trying to just persuade myself I can be an artist as much as anybody else. And I want you to think that as well. If you think that you're not an artist, we can all be artists. If you're making things, if you're creating things, it doesn't matter in which way. We are artists. But yeah, when it comes to painting, sometimes you think, oh, I just can't paint and I can't draw. But anyway, I decided that I was going to keep practicing and that I would keep sharing with you my progress. And I found a lovely tutorial recently that I thought was just the thing to get me back into a bit of painting, because I hadn't done any since before Christmas. And I had such a lovely time. It was almost like being in some kind of meditation. I got completely lost in what I was doing. And I think you might understand that when you see what it was that I was painting. And I just think anybody could give this a go. If you've got some watercolour paints that have been stuck in the cupboard for ages, why don't you try doing this particular activity? I'll leave a link to the tutorial that I used in the description box in case you want to give it a go. But I can highly recommend it. It's just so relaxing. I cannot tell you how relaxing I find that, because I wasn't giving myself any expectations. You know, I was trying not to say, oh, this could be rubbish, or oh, you know, I don't know if I'm going to share this on my podcast. But you know, if you do it, you don't have to share it with anybody at all. I just recommend you just enjoy the it's like you're stroking the paintbrush on the page, and it's just such a peaceful activity. So here we are. Here's me and a bit of painting and a bit of piano. well, I'm gonna say goodbye to you now. That's me for today, and I'm going to keep returning to my experiences and thoughts about bullet journaling, and also about making art, because I'm very soon going to be joining in with the 100-day project, worldwide creative project that I joined in with last year. And I'm gonna chat to you a bit about that and what I'm thinking about doing, because it starts on the 13th of February. So, oh yeah, that's next week, isn't it? Yeah, goodness. So anyway, for now, keep yourself busy, take great care of yourself, and I'll see you again very soon. Okay, bye.